Well, hi there, everybody. This is Phil Simborg from the Backgammon Learning Center. If you're not familiar with it, backgammonlearningscenter.com. We have about 25 teachers in 14 languages giving lessons online and live. And I was giving a lesson yesterday to one of my students, and he really wanted to play a little bit of a game so we can discuss what's going on over the board. So I did something I usually don't do, is we played a one money game. And during that game, a whole bunch of plays came up where he got them terribly wrong, and I'm very embarrassed to say I got a lot of the same plays terribly wrong, and I had the same problem. And I said, look, this is a really tough game, and I know you're paying for this lesson, and I'm embarrassed that I'm not a better teacher to teach these plays to you, but I promise you I'll bring in somebody who can teach it well. So I picked up my email, and I got a hold of one of the top players in the world. He's very, very highly ranked, and made a video of him going through the plays, and he was just about as bad as we were. So I came to the conclusion that, yeah, these really are tough plays, and just like when you're playing with XG, if you can't get a good answer, you go to plus plus, and then you go to a rollout. Well, I'm going to the human rollout. After finding that this is tough, I asked my good friend and the #1 player in the world, Mochy, to join us. Let's see how he does on these, test him on these same positions and get his opinion on these plays. This is my favorite picture of Mochy. This is in L.A., I think, 2 years ago, Mochy?
Who is this good-looking guy?
Yeah, the good-looking guy. This is the way to prepare for a match.
The best moment.
You eat Cheetos and then a candy bar is the best way to prepare for a match, right? I caught you. So anyway, you test yourself. Mochy, when he sees a play, these are all money plays from one game, and I actually could just pull up the game and go through it, but I'd rather show you position by position because I've rolled them out. And Mochy is going to think about it, and while he's thinking, you can come up with your play. And if you want more time before you hear what Mochy says, you can pause your video. So here we go, Mochy. Let's see how you do. By the way, recently I've had Steve Sachs and Steve Sachs, John O'Hagan, and Frank Talbot have all done these, and they've all scored in the 90 percentile. So let's see if you can match that and be as good as they are. They're all three of my top Backgammon Learning Center teachers. Okay, let's go with position #1. Let's just get right to work here. I call these plays from hell because this was a game from hell. At least it was for me. Okay, so the first play, money game. In this case, blue is on roll and has a 5-2 to play. So again, while Mochy's thinking, you can pause it if you want. See what you would do with your 5-2, and I'll shut up now.
All right. This is an interesting one. I'm sure it's a hard one. But my one play could play starting 11, 10, 5. Slotting the best point. This keeps the best structure, I think. What else can I do? I could stack on the 8-point everything, but I think it's really ugly. I would slot to the 5-point on starting 11. Am I right?
My student played 13-6 to keep to get the builder there instead of slotting on the 5-point. Here's the rollout. You are right, of course. Here's the rollout.
Oh, wow.
And the answer is to play, no, not 13. Here we go, 13, 11, 10, 5. That was your play?
Yeah.
Okay. And anything else would be very close to a blunder. And what's wrong with playing safely here?
I mean, putting 6 seconds on the 6th point is really ugly. You can do this only when you are way up in the race and you're, but here you are not up in the race, so you still have to fight. You know what I mean? So you have to utilize your checkers effectively, and the only way you can do is starting 11, 10, 5. 10. I mean, starting 6 is safer for one row, but what's going to happen? What's your game plan? What would you fight? That's my short answer, I think.
Okay, so you have an aversion, as I've heard you say before. you don't like stacks and you don't like throwing checkers out of play. And even if it's risky, you try not to do that. So good rules of thumb. All right, Mochy, you're 1 for 1. Let's go on. This was too easy for you.
No, but it was interesting.
Okay. White has a 4-1 to play here.
Okay, so they are basically the continuation of the problem? I mean, the continuation of the game?
Yeah, it's a continuation. This is all the flow of the same exact game. This is a couple rolls later.
Okay. So, in fact, he managed to make a 5-point with that builders. All right. 4-1. Okay, you gotta play 14-10 for sure. Oh, maybe not. But you on 1, you could play 6-5. You could play 10-9. Yeah. So in my eyes, there are only 2 plays. One is 14-10, 6-5, and the other one is 14-10, 10-9. Save the blot.
And those are the 2 best plays. Those are the 2 best plays.
Oh, that's great. So what are we doing here? You are up 11 pips after the move. Your main goal is... Excuse me?
You're not. I misled you. You're up 7 pips. 7 pips after the move.
Okay, but you are up in the race.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is 14-9, save the blot, because I just want to focus on escaping the last one. I mean, I have enough builders, in my opinion. I don't want to give him 1-6 and 4-3, which is a joker for him. Am I right?
Of course.
Oh, great. Okay.
You're 2 for 2, and this is one that the other giant that I called in clearly missed, and it is a blunder, and I missed it also. I left it on the 10.
Okay. Okay. Think about it. Blue doesn't have too many good rolls to improve his side of the ball. You know what I mean? So if you give him 1-6 and 4-3, which is like a super joker, he would gain a lot. You don't need to give him that, If he has more numbers, like if he has more better distribution, then you might want to give him a 7, because it could be a good number anyways, right? But here, I mean, 4-3 is really a terrible roll otherwise. You don't really need
4-3 on the other side of the board. You might do that play then. Is what you're saying?
There will be reason, right? But here it's not. Plus, you're up in the race. You just focus on escaping the last guy. And frankly, I mean, you have enough builders already. What do you expect having one more builder? You don't want to give him 4 jokers.
Isn't it 2 more builders? Isn't it 2 more builders if you play 6-5?
Why? You cannot use 9-point as a builder, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so 4 builders.
One more builder.
Yeah. And actually, if you roll a 6, you're gonna run. So, builders on a 10-point cannot use a 6 because you want to run from 24-point anyway.
So you brought up a very interesting point. You want to run. So what Mochy is saying is that your best game plan here, the more dangerous play, you're really trying hard to make a priming play. And Mochy's saying that you should be playing a racing game primarily here and not get hit. And one reason that you have a better racing game is you have 1 checker back and he has 2 checkers back. It's not just the fact that you're up 7 pips, because that's not very much with him on roll. So your structure is also very good for a racing game plan. And I think people don't think about game plan enough. But to you, it's automatic. And you're one of the people that really got me thinking more about game plan, because as you recall in our boot camps, when we were talking about first and second roll moves, even there you start talking about what's your game plan, and right off the bat. So I think that's part of the answer for this play. But I could talk big now because I see the answer. I certainly got this one wrong. So let's go on. You're 2 for 2. Very good. Number 3. My favorite roll, the double 2, which is always hard.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Looks hard, too. Okay, looks like I'm gonna make a 4-point. So I go with 8-4, 6-4, and then think about the last one. Either stepping out up to 22 or hiding a blot by 10-8. So these are two of my plays.
So you ruled out making the bar point.
How can I make a bar point? Oh, you mean shifting? Could you put it back, please? Yes, but you're gonna give up the 9 point to make a bar, no?
Right. You're right
Yeah.
that you don't make the. You're right that you don't make the bar point, but you didn't even consider that.
Well, I mean, 9 point is actually more valuable than bar point here because it blocks a 6 from him. I think.
Okay. Well, you're right, but you know, a lot of people look. The other guy looked at the 9 point a lot, and of course, you're absolutely right. You make this play, and I made this play also, but I got the wrong 2. The last 2 I got wrong.
Okay. So which one you chose?
That's cheating. That's cheating.
Oh man, it's hard. Let me think. So 10-8, he's gonna close the bar, then you wanna run. If you step up, he's gonna attack you, probably. Nah, I step up. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna step up.
Oh no, you're right again. It's getting.
You scared me again.
I was hoping to have a lot more fun than this, but you're boring getting them all right. And it's not a huge difference, but it is right.
Yeah.
Step up. But I was afraid that I would get attacked too much by stepping up. That's why I played it safe. Why did you step up?
Well, I mean, you don't wanna be primed, of course. Of course, you might be attacked as well, but he must throw something perfect, like 3-4, 3-5, 4-5. He doesn't really wanna hit Ruth. I mean, he will hit Ruth, but it's not. It's very risky for him as well because you have a 3-point ball while he has only 2-point ball, right? Yeah. So I'm not too scared about getting hit on the 22 because he has only 2-point ball. That's my reasoning.
So a couple of plays ago, I learned not to give him the 4-3 and the 6-1.
About 4-3 is completely dipped now.
Yeah, but in this play, you're giving him the 4-3 and the 6-1. So
no 6-1. I'm not giving a 6-1.
Oh, that's right. That's right, because you made this point. Yeah,
right.
I got it.
And the 4-3 is completely duplicated, by the way.
Yeah,
4-3 is
exactly
very good roll. Anyway, yeah.
It's a great roll. By the way, how does he play 4-3? Does he make the 4-point or does he make the bar?
So you want to make me screwed up. Yeah, and 4-3 by blue. I would make a 3-point. It looks too risky. Giving up.
You don't hit. You don't make the 4-point. Okay, you make the 3-point.
I make a 3.
You're right again. This is not part of the quiz. I was just curious as to how you play it.
Yeah, but if you hit on a 15, then White has so many return shots from the roof, and he has better board. Like every 4 hits, every 3 hit on the 15. I mean, not every, but many 3s and 4s and deuce, he can hit Ruth on 22. And some 5 and some 6, he can hit Ruth on 3. So it's a bit too risky against that kind of board, I guess.
You know, one of my teachers, you knew well, Howard Ring, who's a great player, passed away a few years ago. Howard used to tell me he loves the sound of the word and this play hits and points, and that means you're doing 2 good things. He said The word "and" is one of the most beautiful words in backgammon.
But what about the hit and run? He also hit and run.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's move on. You're batting 1,000. You're 3 for 3. Okay, number 4. White to play 6-4.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see this is the same game. This is a flow of the game.
Ah, okay. So still cube not being turned.
Oh, that's very, very interesting. The cube should have been turned only very slightly on the previous on the double 2 roll. It was a .02 double. But after that, it's really right to be in the center here. This is not a cube by far.
Okay.
But the cube should have been turned 2 rolls on that double 2 roll, and it wasn't much of a mistake. All right. So anyway, you have a 6-4 here to play, and do you think the play would be different if the cube was turned?
I don't even know the best answer here.
Well, the good news is you only have 2 6s to play. You can only play 13-7 or 8-2. So that narrows it down.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. What's going on here? So I'm up in the race, so I don't want to get hit. I just want to escape. But do I want to play 8-2, 5-1? Is this he's gonna slot then? Wow. Wow, this is a hard one. I don't like to play 8-2, 5-1 because it really weakens my board, and then blue is going to slot very aggressively. So I probably play. I would play 13-7, and I'm thinking about the last 4. There are 3 4s. Like I could play 39, which looks more natural, or I could play 8-4. Sorry if I couldn't see the board. Okay, now 8-4 or 5-1. Wow. Gee. It's difficult for me. Sorry.
Well, you got the first part right. Slotting is correct.
Okay. That helps me a bit. Fuck. I'll play 39.
Okay.
Mhm.
And of course, my student and I did not slot, and neither did the other giant who looked at this earlier today. And you got the right play again. You're batting 1,000.
Oh wow!
And the second best play is not slotting at all. Well, of course, I don't know these people.
Okay. I didn't see. I didn't see this play actually. So if I have seen it, I would have played it. Maybe.
Okay. You're being too humble. You got the right play. Let's move on. You're getting so. All right. Let's talk about this a little bit. Why was I so afraid to slot here? I mean, you say I'm up in the race. I don't want to get hit. You said those words yourself, and then you leave a block.
Yeah, but I didn't want to play 8-2, 5-1 at all. Well, I didn't see 39, so but one of the reasons is the duplication, because 2-4 and 4-5 is really good number for him anyway. So getting a hit is not as bad as usual, right? Plus double 4 is a good roll anyway, so only rolls that you might regret is like 4-1, 4-3, 4-6. If you get away with it, you are, one roll away from climbing. Like any ace or deuce to complete your climb, right?
I thought that, but then I went to the next step, Mochy, and I thought, even if I complete my prime, he probably can hold his longer than me, but he hasn't made the prime yet. He hasn't made the prime, so I guess that's the reason.
Yeah, man, of course. Yeah, but you just don't want to play 8-2. It's really weak in your board. Plus, if you get hit, of course, you have lots of returns from the roof as well. Again, it's the same principle. Like you have better ball, and he give up the anchor to hit on the 7 point. It's bad, but it's not super bad because now you can counterattack maybe.
Yeah, you have a lot of return shot, or you could roll a 4-3 and make the anchor too.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
You're batting 1,000. Let's go to number 5.
Well, it was very hard. Oh, 6-1.
I think this is very hard. Even after I saw the answer, I had trouble with this one.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, this looks very hard. You could, well, first of all, you have to think either you want to give up the anchor and run, or you stick with your anchor and play something like 9-3, 9-8, or something like 9-2. So the bigger question is, do you want to give up the anchor? Maybe. I mean, he has a blot on the 3, but most of his number works very good. I'm going through all the numbers, like 6-5, he hit and cover, 6-4 hit and cover, 6-3. I mean, 6-3 is a little bit awkward, but still hit and cover, 6-2 hit and cover. 6-1 is bad, of course, but 5-1, 5-4 points, 5-3 hit and cover. Wow, so almost every number works for him. At least he will hit and cover. So do I want that? Probably not. So maybe I would play. Is it possible to play 21-15 and 2-1? That's crazy. So I don't like that. So maybe 9-3, then 9-8. Is it possible? Yeah. Let me try 9-3, 9-8.
Okay, that's your play?
Yeah.
All right. We finally got you.
Okay.
Here's the answer.
So what's the right one?
Make the 3 points.
Oh, good move. Okay,
Never occurred to me.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it again. Wow. Yeah.
You duplicate the 3s, but by the way, hitting is the second best play by a very small margin.
Mm-hmm.
And the play that you said was ridiculous of coming out and hitting loose is not too bad. It's up there. This is
wow.
great. I think prime versus prime checker plays are the hardest. For me, they are anyway. I think but I have learned, and I learned this from John O'Hagan. Duplication is a huge factor in these plays, and this duplicates the 3s when you make. Here's what the right play looks like. And
yeah,
a 3 hits or covers, and that's the major reason that I think you make the switch.
Yeah,
all right, so you are human.
Yeah, but let me speak a little bit more.
Sure.
With this play, yeah, you can cover with 4 and 5, and possibly you can come out with a 6, so that you diversify your good numbers as well. And even if you get hit, you don't have any more blots. Like my play. 9-8 leaves 2 blots, right? And my play would cover the 3 point with 5 and 6, so I dipped myself a little bit. Yeah. Right?
That's your play, right?
If I do that, now I need 5 and 6 to cover, and 6 is kind of duplicated because I might want to come out with the 6s. And of course, I suffer from 2 blots instead of the 1 blot, so that's great play. I just didn't see it.
Well, was it Roberti or McGrill that wrote that many? I think it was Woolsey who wrote one of his early books that lots of times when we don't make the right play, it's because we didn't even see it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look enough. But that's not an error that you usually make. How often is it that you miss the play because you just didn't see it? That's something I would think is rare for you.
Yeah, unless you talk too much to me.
Okay. Let's go to
That's my
6.
excuses.
Okay. You are batting almost 1,000. Okay. Here we are. A little bit later, 6-1.
Oh. Okay. Wow. I would come out on a hit. That's my play.
Okay. You don't even have a second. You don't have a second best play, and you nailed it, of course. Your play is.
Yeah, it looks so natural to me. Yeah. Just so.
It wasn't natural. I got this one right. It wasn't natural to my students. Why is this so obviously right?
Well, you want to come out against blind, right? So 6 is there, and you want to use the checkers on the deuce point, which is very ugly stacked on the deuce point. So I'm very happy to utilize them.
Mm-hmm. So let's pretend blue dances. Does white have a redouble?
1 on the 3. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And does blue have a take?
After he dance? Yeah, I think he has a take.
Let's make the play.
Has a take. Yeah.
Well, almost all prime versus primes are takes. I've been learning more and more. I thought it was. I gave Stick credit for that, and Stick said no. He learned it from Mike Sankiewicz. So let's assume that blue dances here. I'm pretty sure it's a take. The question is it a redouble? And I think it is. Let's see. Let's take a look. And that's another reason for the play, isn't it? If we're right. And sure enough, it's a small redouble and a big take. But I can't. There's no other play where you could possibly have a redouble if you don't come out. If you still have these 2 checkers behind the 5 prime, there's no way you could. No matter what happens, you probably, unless he cracks his board, roll something really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason we got the play wrong is we were thinking he would crack this board, but he has this spare here, which is the real problem. And I just so you know, if you take away this spare and put it inside, then it would probably be right to make the 3-point instead and go for the crack. So that's a major part of the difference. Okay, you got them all right but one. We got one more. And then I've got a bonus question for you that didn't come from this match. And again, my favorite roll, double 2s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
White obviously made the 3-point last time instead of hitting out. But.
So you either hit Ruth or you switch from 3 to 1, then play 9 to 5. Wow.
No question, it has to be one of those 2 plays. You have to hit. You either hit loose or you switch.
Yeah. I want to play 9-5 2 off.
I play in a game where they do that kind of stuff frequently. But playing online now, it's much nicer. I don't have to worry about that.
All right. Give me 15 seconds. 9, 5, 3, 1. You have a 3-point open forever. He dance. He enters. I mean, a natural play would be 9-1. That is my play.
That's your play.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry to say that you're right again. And of course, I switched points, and it's quite a big difference. So let's take a look at the right play, and let's take a look at the wrong play, and the other wrong play. Why is this better?
Why? Wow. Well, this play, suppose he dances, right? Suppose blue dances, then white, most of his number keeps the 5-point board. Say white draws 5-4, 5-3, 4-3, 4-2, all of those numbers, you can still keep the 5-point board so that you can make him dance again. But your play, switching play, can you show us the switching play, please? Phil?
Yeah. How's this?
Okay. Yeah, that one. For example, this one. If you roll like 5-4, 5-3, 5-2, then you have to break your ball to a 4-point ball. So which is not nice, like 4-3 even. And how about the second best, 5-1? Can you go show us a 5-1 play, switching from 5-point to 8-point? Okay, this is also the same. Like you roll 5-4, you have to break a 5-point board. 5-3, you can keep it. Okay, so this is better than the third best, of course, because now you have more rolls to keep the 5-point board. However, the best play keeps the longest, obviously. And in case he enters, you still keep a 5 in front of him, I guess. And of course, you don't want to get hit, but he has to play something on his side of the ball. Say he roll like, I don't know, 1-4, maybe he covers. Then in this instance, you might, want to keep your 5. You might hit from the bar. You might roll some joker like 2-3, 4-3, 2-5, or you might roll like 2-1, 4-1, or you might dance, but he might, you might not roll a 6 so that he will crunch even more.
And by the way, if you dance, if he comes in and hits and covers and you dance, that's pretty good to dance. Because if he doesn't roll a 6 next time, he's crunching.
Yeah. But you want to hit, of course. I mean, if you enter and crunch, that's the worst, of course.
Yeah.
But sometimes you enter and hit, like, sometimes you roll a joker, like you might roll 2-1, 4-1.
Well, you've just proven a huge difference between the number 1 player in the world and the number, I'm not going to say what number, but he's not far off from you. and he
because I'm learning from you, Phil.
Yeah, you learned from me, right?
You always mention me as the best student, right?
Well, I tell everybody that I taught you everything I know. But not everything you know. Not everything you know. I taught you everything I know. Okay, here's the bonus. This came up later the same day, and I had a problem with this one, and it's a very common kind of play. Let's just see how you do with the bonus play, and we're done. This is not a really crazy position. White plays 6-5, money game.
Okay. Oh, wow. So you are up 8 pips after the move. I'm going to play 24-18 as a 6, then think about the 5. I could play 13-8, or I could just run. And I usually go with 13-8 here, I think. I play 13-8.
You play 13-8 and leave the blot here. Well, why do you make this right play? Again, you're right. Why not just run all the way and be? Is it that valuable to make the 8-point? And why not run all the way? I don't understand it.
Okay, there are a couple of reasons to make 8-point. I mean, first of all, I don't want to stack 6 checkers on the midpoint. I mean, I don't want to put 6 checkers on any point in general, right? That's one reason. And the other reason is I have a better ball, so if I get hit on the 7-point, I can hit back. So the hitting contest, fighting for bar point would be beneficial for me. I mean, I have a better ball, that's why. And of course, 8-point is very valuable. So those are my 3 reasons to play this way.
Okay, so we have a little bit of a theme that's come up a couple times, but there's some very good. I really like rules of thumb especially because most of my students are intermediate and some low open players, and rules of thumb really help a lot. And of course, they're wrong in exceptions, but you've mentioned several of them. The first thing I've noticed is you almost always look at the pip count, even in these kinds of situations where there's a long way to go and it's far from a race. You consider the pip count as part of the very important part. It's not just because of the race, but it's also because of timing and everything else. And the other thing you brought up a couple times is you hate these big stacks. This is a second play where it was wrong to put 6 checkers on a point, and that's part of the reason that the right play is right. Another thing you mentioned is the strength of the board. having a stronger inner board is another reason why you're not afraid of contact here and playing a hidden game.
If Drew has a 3-point ball instead of 2-point balls, then my play might be different, or the difference, the best play and second best will be closer. Can you? Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, move to the 4-point. Yeah.
You know what?
All right. Yeah, like that. Let's see.
The play's going to be the same.
Okay.
And how do I know this? Because I don't know. Earlier. I asked the same question you asked. I was curious, and I learned from my mentor. My mentor is Perry Gardner, and he taught me that if you really want to understand a position, you have to move it around and play with variations of it, just like you're doing right now, asking the question, how would you change the play if you had a stronger board? But in this case, I'm pretty sure it's the same play. It's rolling it out right now. I always do plus. Yeah, I'm right. But you were right also that it's much closer. It was like a 13 error before, and it's a .028 error now. But I was shocked that it's the same play because I expected what you expected. I expected that we would run now. But the race is worse now, too. It's another reason why you're not so excited about running. Well, Mochy, you have proven again to be a star. I really appreciate your help. Mochy is available to give lessons. He's proven that he's not just a good player or just a great player. He's also a very, very great teacher. And Mochy and I have done many boot camps around the world, and I've learned so much from him and so many people. And I want to thank you for sharing. You're not getting paid for this. You're sharing your knowledge because you want to help the game, and I really, really appreciate it. You're my hero. Thank you.
Thank you. It was very enjoyable. Okay. Thank you for doing it. Let's do it again.
Sure, we'll do it more. Well, you're kind of boring. I like to do it with people and get some of them wrong, but you did great.
I had one problem wrong, and it was very nice play. I didn't say it. 9-3-4-3. That's great takeaway for me.
You can watch the video on YouTube probably by tomorrow.
Cool.
Good seeing you, Mochy. Stay healthy. Stay well, and I can't wait.